Hello everyone, Ryan here. So this is just going to be like a discussion type thing. I wanted to pose a question. Is social media a good thing or a bad thing? Now, of course, I know that I'm not the first to pose this question. Also not the first to talk about it. Not just here on YouTube, but elsewhere on the internet and in real life, in person. And what got me thinking about this topic recently was the fact that I've had, over the past couple months, I've had discussions with friends and relatives over, about social media. And I was surprised that most of them consider social media to be a bad thing, in that they believe that it's starting to have a very big influence on not just teenagers or younger kids, but also adults. And to me, pretty much I told them, after they told me that they believe it has too much of an influence on everyone, I respond with the fact that, I feel like it depends on what you're using it for. And also, too, obviously, people like to say, there's too much drama on Facebook, too much drama on Twitter, too much drama on Instagram, whatever else they use, Snapchat. And I get that. I get where they're coming from. Because I will admit, oftentimes it seems like every time I look at my Facebook feed, there's always some kind of negative thing being posted on there. Doesn't matter what it's about. Usually, like, between 70 to 80% of the time, it's something negative. And I will agree, I don't like that. But at the same time, I don't believe that it's necessarily the fault of Facebook. And same goes for Twitter. Like, if you happen to see a lot of negative stuff being posted on Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat or YouTube, that doesn't necessarily make it the fault of that platform. That's what I feel. And I feel like most people, from what I've noticed, are not able to separate these two things, not able to separate the motivations of individuals and the utilitarian purpose of a social media platform. But that's how I feel. And also, too, I know that trolls are a big part of the negativity that, all the negative stuff that's posted throughout social media. But the thing with that is, most of us know, obviously I know if you're not used to using Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or anything similar, obviously I know then, when you come across a troll or somebody constantly harassing you, and that can be tough to deal with, especially if you haven't dealt with it before. But at the same time, we all do have the option to ignore these people, to delete their comments, to block them from continuing commenting with anything negative. And that goes for all of us, everyone. It's not just adults, or not just teenagers, kids, but we all have that option. So I don't want to go too in depth as far as what kind of influence social media has over teenagers and our kids, because I believe like most of us are aware of that to some extent. Me personally, I don't believe kids under the age of I don't know, I want to say 15, 16. I'm going to say 16. Maybe even 17. Depending on how far along, the kid's comprehension happens to be. But yeah, me personally, I don't believe any kid under the age of 16 should have access to social media. But that's just me. I mean, my nephews and niece, they have access to phones, and they're aware of social media, and I know that they do use it as well, but their parents don't allow them to do certain things, you know, which I believe is good. I believe parents should, you know, be very aware of what their kids are posting on social media. But yeah, I mean, that's all I'll say about that as far as social media's influence over teenagers and kids. As for adults, it always surprises me whenever I see anybody being harassed on social media, you know, and it's two adults, you know, either harassing one another, or one is harassing the other, or they're both just like locked in this dramatic feud or something. And I've always considered that to be just very unproductive, because I've even seen, you know, adults who use social media for business purposes, to promote their small business, or just to promote some kind of creative project that they're involved in, even though they promote, you know, their businesses and projects and whatnot, but then at the same time, they still ultimately give in to being harassed by certain individuals, or I guess you could call them quote unquote trolls. Yeah. And when to me, I mean, for me, I mean, me being on YouTube and using social media, I have experienced my fair share of trolls, negative comments, but usually all I do is I ignore them. For the most part, I ignore them. Yeah, sometimes I am surprised, maybe, you know, a little bit, somewhat shocked that somebody would take time out of their day to leave me a negative comment. But I mean, you know, for the most part, I just shake it off and I delete those comments, ignore that person. I haven't really had to block anyone in quite a very long time, but I have done it before in the past. So, I mean, yeah, I just feel like, as far as adults go, most adults allow themselves to just really, I guess, crack under this negative kind of pressure that they get from quote unquote trolls. And it's I'm not gonna say, I mean, I know it sucks, it's a bad thing, but also we do have the option to ignore that, to delete those comments, block these quote unquote trolls, and just move on. Yeah, for me, it's as simple as that. Obviously, I know it's not so simple for others, but I don't know, maybe that's something that we've all got to just accept and take some time to get used to it. Otherwise, I mean, you know, that's something that's never going to go away. That's going to be an aspect of social media that will never go away. If we're constantly feeding into the negativity, then that's always going to be around. It's never going to go away. So, but that's how I feel. Obviously, I know not everyone may agree with me. I'm aware of that. I'm open to that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to ramble on and on about this. I've got some other stuff that I want to talk about, that I'd like to talk about concerning social media. But for now, I'll just leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think social media is a good thing or a bad thing? Or maybe you don't really care at all, or maybe do you feel like, or even, if you feel like social media shouldn't exist at all, let me know that, let me know. I want to know your thoughts on this, because I'd like to get some kind of good, well-rounded understanding of how people view social media, how they think about it on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, I guess in a sense you could say it's kind of like my own little, like, somewhat small sociological experiment, or or no, not experiment, sociological, I don't know, just because I'd like to be able to write something about this. I want to start writing about a lot more things that actually affect people in today's society. So yeah, definitely let me know in the comments down below if you think social media is good or bad, or kind of in between, or you don't care at all. Just let me know. So that'll do it. Thanks for watching this discussion thing here. As always, till next time, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.